What's going on, guys? Arax here and welcome to Dishonored 2. Now I'm bringing you guys this video in collaboration with the guys over at Bethesda. I went down to their office the other day, had a chance to go hands-on with the game with a kind of early build of it. Now this is chapter 4, so it takes place partway through the game. For the most part, there won't really be any spoilers in this video. It is largely just gameplay. It's not the entirety of chapter 4, it's a section of it. Of course, if you're trying to have a complete Dishonored blackout, then understandably you might want to look away. But for the most part, this is pretty safe. So, in the gameplay you're going to see in the background, I'm currently playing as Corvo. Now, there are two characters you can play as. You can either play as Corvo, who is, of course, the original bodyguard turned assassin, and you now have Emily as well, who used to be the Empress, but now she is also an outcast. We'll speak about that in a minute. But basically, you have the option to jump between both of them. They both have different ways of playing, so while they fundamentally have the same core arsenal, you have things like a pistol, explosive bullets, grenades, stun mines, crossbow bolts, sleep darts, and the heart. They do have their own special powers. So Corvo, the one you're going to see in here, is the one with bend time, blink, and wind blast. Blink is, of course, your kind of primary move for dashing around and getting around. You have bend time, where you can slow down time, mess with that, and that can, of course, give you some opportunities to do some stuff you otherwise wouldn't be able to. And, of course, wind blast, you basically just blast wind. Now, I actually played through this mission, or at least the section that we're allowed to play, with both characters. So this video is going to be focused on Corvo, so we'll see kind of one way to play through the mission using him, and then later in the week I'll release a second video with Emily, and you can then see the same mission, but with a slightly different take. So, before we start diving into the gameplay itself, for the most part I'm going to let you guys watch it as well, because I don't need to speak over the whole thing, but I do want to give you guys some context. So if you are coming into Dishonored brand new, in fact, I actually didn't have a chance to play number 1, it is a game that interested me, but sadly it just kind of came out at the wrong time for me. There was loads of other stuff at the same time, and I just didn't have a chance to play it. But if you guys have been on the channel for a while, then you'll know I am a fan of stealth games. So Dishonored is something that I'm definitely interested to check out. I'm definitely looking forward to number 2, simply because there are so many different ways to play through the levels. You know, you can go in guns blazing if that's who you are, but there are so many options for stealthy ways to play and just different ways to play in general. I mean, you'll see in this gameplay there are ways to turn enemies on each other, ways to, you know, like use the environment to your advantage, all that stuff, and of course we will get to that as we play through. But Dishonored 2 takes place 15 years after the first Dishonored. Corvo is basically trying to restore Emily to the throne because she was framed for her mother's assassination. In the time between Dishonored 1 and 2, Emily's been training with Corvo so that she can protect herself from assassins, the Empire plunges into chaos, Emily's dethroned, and she becomes an outlaw. Now, I'll let you watch this for a second just so you guys can hear what's going on, and then we'll jump back into something else.
Your clothes are too fine. An aristocratic thrill seeker? That's closer. You've trained with weapons formerly, but you're not a salon fencer. There's a bit of back alley in your movements. All that, and only one man ever wore that mask, to my knowledge. Welcome, Royal Protector.
Obviously, you're pleased with yourself. Do you know why I'm here?
I'd assume my involvement with the Duke brought you to my door. Or maybe you're after washed-up Anton Sokolov, comfortably residing in the assessment chamber. Either way, come find me and take whatever it is you seek. But if you fall, I'll have your body carried to my lab for dissection and study. Until either comes to pass, your secret is safe with me.
I'll see you soon, Jindosh.
Until then.
So, with that out of the way, we are now into the mission, and that's the only kind of cutscene-esque part you'll have in the whole thing. So, again, anything that was remotely tied to spoilers is now out of the way. So, in this mission we have two core objectives, or at least in this section of the mission. The first one is to go and rescue a target, or kind of a person of interest who is down in the basement of this kind of complex. And the second one is, of course, to assassinate the guy that we just spoke to. Now, you can do this in any way you want. In fact, you can do it the opposite way around. You can rescue the target later, but I'm going to go for the target first. I did play through this level a couple of times before, so I kind of get an idea of what was going on, because I didn't just want to go into it completely fresh and then give you guys a rookie playthrough. But first things first, these guys you see in front of you, these are clockwork robots. Basically, they are Jindo, the guy that we're going to kind of kill. They're his creation, his army, and they are pretty lethal. But one of the things you might want to do with these guys is, initially, they track you via sight and sound. But if you shoot their head off, then they rely solely on sound. And the cool thing about that, as you will see very soon, is that when they rely solely on sound, then they have no way of discerning between enemies and you. meaning you can use them to kill other enemies in the level, which is really handy, and we're going to go and do that soon. Anyway, my approach here is not going to be full stealth, because truth be told, I'm still kind of getting used to it and like learning the level, because I think realistically, if you want to go for an absolute stealth playthrough, it would require some decent knowledge of the level. So I will, for the most part, try and sort of be stealthy at points, and then other times I will just use some of my other abilities. But in the sort of 3 or 4 times that I played through this level, there's just so many different ways to go. In fact, I believe there's actually a way to sneak into the house without actually being detected. I didn't get a chance to do that one, but kind of gives you an idea of some of the other things that are available. Anyway, with that being said, in a moment you're going to start seeing some of the stuff where we can turn the robots on each other. So a few other things about this complex, the Clockwork Mansion that we're in. It's pretty confusing the first couple of times you go around it, because there are loads of levers located around the whole place where when you pull them, the mansion itself or the kind of rooms in the mansion start to move around, and that means that things that were previously doorways or entrances close up and new ways open, which is of course a necessary part of working your way through this level, but it also does get kind of confusing. So there's a fair bit of, backtracking, going around in circles and trying to sort of like work out what needs to be open, what needs to be closed, but that is also like a really cool aspect of it, because it then factors in some sort of puzzle solving elements, which is something that I'm also a big fan of. But with all of that out of the way, I'm now going to leave you guys to watch the rest of the gameplay, because I just want you guys to sort of experience it. It's a lot of fun. I definitely think when I play this myself, I'm going to try where possible to be as stealthy as possible, because it's just, I get a lot more fun out of stealth gameplay. I appreciate some people enjoy, much more high chaos, high impact gameplay and whatnot, so you may, run through and try and use all your abilities to create as much chaos as possible, but for me, stealth is something I super enjoy. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you guys do enjoy the video, then a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below, let me know if you're looking forward to Dishonored 2. Also, if you do enjoy this, then do stick around on the channel, because later on this week I'll have a video of this same mission, but we're going to be playing as Emily instead, and she has some really interesting and very different powers, so the way we play through will actually differ as well. Anyway, thank you for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.
Wiping off your blood later! This can't be! Where did he go? What the... What?
Ha! Got him! Ha!
Be careful. This was devised to test the limits of the Clockwork soldiers. Quite dangerous. If you're really looking for Sokolov, that old nag is around here somewhere. Standing by. Adapting to layout. Combat Protocol 6. Housing breached. Power protection. Standing by.
Sokolov.
Corvo, only you could have come this far.
Megan helped me find you. We need to leave.
Jindosh has plans for an army of his clockwork soldiers. He can't be permitted to build it.
He won't. I'll be paying him a visit momentarily. Safest to take Sokolov back to the carriage before confronting Jindosh.
That mask you wear is exquisite. I detect Piero Joplin's hand in it. He made it, didn't he? But not alone. There's another style there, one I don't recognize. I've had fabled burglars, fortune hunters, and professional killers come through my door, only to expire begging for mercy, crying out for release after only a few hours. I won't let you take him. Sokolov was the great thinker of his time, and now he belongs to me. Mechanism detached. Combat breathtaking. According to the scales beneath the floor and my acoustic sensors, you move quite.
All right. At least Sokolov is safe. Now for Jindosh.
I suppose Sokolov is now safe and sound. And yet here you are again, back for more. Combat protocol unauthorized presence. Machine detect combat protocol. Team is not relying on audio stimulus. Cooling down. Playback indicates criminal profile. You've beaten one of my clockwork soldiers. I'll have questions about that. Once I have you restrained. You're too good at destroying my masterpieces. Each one costs a fortune, you know. Sokolov is a strange mind. I thought his scientific work would be distorted by his passions. In fact, they are inextricably linked.
Shit! What was that? The shooter has to be hiding over there.
Know that your last moment, the last vision you behold, the work of scintillating industry, the very pinnacle of invention. Another clockwork down. Each of those costs a princely sum, I assure you. You're quite close now. I can't remember any other visitor getting so far. Do you feel pride? That's it. Closer and closer. I'm waiting. At last, Lord Protector, you found me. Do you realize you're only the second person to set foot in this room, the most sophisticated laboratory in the Isles? Please, Try not to damage anything as you die. Clockwork soldiers, dispatch this intruder! At this point, the clockwork is scouting. Each new visitor is another test for the clockwork soldiers. Each makes them better. In the end. Playback for combat protocols.
Damn it! He destroyed it!
Better search the office very carefully.
Karen Jindosh. Welcome to the final mystery, Jindosh.